But Tuesday is election day in several cities, and tonight we focus on Lake Worth Beach, where several questions for voters could bring some big changes to City Hall. WPTV News Channel 5's Matt Cesny explains.
Lake Worth Beach's new mayor talked about the change on the ballot.
We realized and we took a look at the fact that the charter hadn't been amended for quite a long time.
Betty Resch was part of the wave of progressive-leaning candidates who swept to wins last year in Lake Worth Beach and now are serving up more change. 4 referendums, the biggest calling for term limits.
Yeah. It will hopefully encourage people to come because it's not going to be this incumbent, he's been there 30, right? Number 2, it is a graceful way to exit after 2 terms. And number 3, I just think it's going to increase that, make it, if you have a deadline, you work harder.
Other questions for voters aim to bring change to runoffs, how commission vacancies are filled, and changing how commission members are selected from citywide voting to single-member district voting.
There's a piece of my heart that is in Lake Worth and that will always be in Lake Worth.
Omari Hardy is a former city commissioner now living in Washington, D.C. 2 years ago, Hardy confronted the former mayor over proposed utility disconnections during the pandemic. The video sparked a wave of change in Lake Worth Beach with citizen candidates, which Hardy now says needs to continue, especially if the proposed changes can encourage electing commissioners of color.
The city has almost 2 different sides to it, right? There is east of Dixie Highway and there's west of Dixie Highway. And unfortunately, in these local elections, a majority of the vote is coming from a minority of the people.
So in a city that's already seen change and stands to see a lot more, residents here get to decide on maybe more changes in City Hall next Tuesday, March 8th. In Lake Worth Beach, Matt Cesny, WPTV News Channel 5.